Jim Hughes, and the special meeting of the Hyde Industrial Commission is now being called to order. This meeting is being conducted in person and is being held in the main hearing room of the William Green Building, located at 30 West Spring Street in Columbus, Ohio. The meeting is also being streamed on the Hyde Industrial Commission's YouTube channel. The link to listen to this meeting is available on the Industrial Commission's public website. The purpose of this special meeting is to consider the pending application of the district hearing officer candidate and to review, discuss, and vote on changes to language in memos B1, I-15, N1, N2, and N3. The agenda of this special meeting is as follows. The meeting call to order, the roll call, the meeting minute approval, the vote to enter an executive session to discuss the hiring of candidates for district hearing officers positions, the vote on hiring candidates for district hearing officers positions, review, discuss, and vote on changes to language in memos B1, I5, N1, N2, and N3, and then finally adjournment. During this meeting, it is important that prior to speaking the first time, each participant introduce themselves by stating their name and title. This is to ensure that the audio recording accurately reflects the proceeding and the public is properly informed. For those of you who are listening to the Industrial Commission's YouTube channel, please be aware that if during a special meeting the Commissioners vote to enter executive session, you will not be able to hear a live recording during that time. When the Commissioners exit executive session, the recording will resume. I'll now ask our Director of Adjudication, Mr. Stephen Kramer, to call the roll.
This is Stephen Kramer, Director of Adjudication. As I call your name, please state your presence. Commissioner Hottinger.
Commissioner Hottinger, present.
Commissioner Massey.
Commissioner Massey here.
Chairman Hughes.
Chairman Hughes here. We do have a quorum. We'll go to our first thing, which is the meeting minutes, which is the first on our special meeting. We do not have these prepared as of this point in time from the court reporter. So therefore, I, Jim Hughes, the chairman, will be moving to table these at this time. Do I have a second to the said motion?
This is Commissioner Massey. I will second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to table the meeting minutes. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, I'll ask our Director of Adjudication, Mr. Stephen Kramer, to call the roll on the said motion, please.
Commissioner Hottinger.
Commissioner Hottinger, yes.
Commissioner Massey.
Commissioner Massey, yes.
Chairman Hughes.
Chairman Hughes, yes. Motion does carry. Therefore, the minutes will be tabled at this time. The next matter we have is discussion of potential hiring of district hearing officer candidate and legal advice regarding potential hiring and legal advice regarding proposed changes to memos B1, I5, N1, N2, and N3. There is a personnel matter that requires discussion among the commissioners in executive session. Executive session is limited to discussion of potential hiring of a district hearing officer candidate, as well as any necessary legal advice regarding the candidate and any legal advice regarding the proposed changes to memos B1, I5, N1, N2, and N3. All votes will be made in open session. Therefore, I, Chairman Jim Hughes, move the Commission now enter an executive session to discuss the potential hiring of district hearing officer candidate. Do I have a second to enter into the executive session?
Commissioner Hottinger, seconds.
Thank you, Commissioner, for your second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, we'll now ask our Director of Adjudication, Mr. Stephen Kramer, to call the roll.
Commissioner Hottinger.
Commissioner Hottinger, yes.
Commissioner Massey.
Commissioner Massey, yes.
Chairman Hughes.
Chairman Hughes, yes. Said motion does carry. So I respectfully request that anyone who has not been specifically invited to remain for executive session, please leave the hearing room at this point in time until the Commissioner reconvenes in open session. I'll also ask that the audio recording while the Commissioner is in executive session be suspended. We are now back on the record and have executed executive session. For the record, during executive session, no votes were taken and no decisions were made. I'll now move to the next matter on our agenda, which is the roll call vote to take action related to personnel matters. Having reviewed the personnel matters in executive session, I, Chairman Jim Hughes, am now making a motion to approve the hiring of Lynn Emmerman as a district hearing officer as discussed in executive session. Do I have a second for the said motion?
This is Commissioner Massey. I will second.
Thank you, Commissioner Massey, for your second. Having received a second, is there any discussion on the said motion? Hearing none, I'll ask Mr. Stephen Kramer, Director of Adjudication, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hattiger,
Commissioner Hattinger, yes.
Commissioner Massey,
Commissioner Massey, yes.
Chairman Hughes.
Chairman Hughes, yes, said motion does carry. We'll now move to the review, discuss, and vote on changes to language in memos B1, I5, N1, N2, and N3. The next item on our agenda are the proposed changes to memos B1, I5, N1, N2, and N3. I'll now ask Mr. Stephen Kramer, our Director of Adjudication, to address the proposed changes.
To reflect consistency with Ohio House Bill 281, also known as the Mental Health and Disability Terminology Act, the proposed changes are to update the word handicap to disability in the memos before you today. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Kramer. Are there any questions or discussions of the proposed changes to memos B1, I5, N1, N2, and N3? Hearing none, I, Jim Hughes, will now make a motion to approve the proposed changes to memos B1, I5, N1, N2, and N3. Do I have a second to the said motion?
Commissioner Hattinger seconds.
Thank you, Commissioner, for your second. Any discussion on that? So having received a proper second, I'll now ask our Director of Adjudication, Mr. Stephen Kramer, to call the roll, please.
Commissioner Hattiger,
Commissioner Hattinger, yes.
Commissioner Massey,
Commissioner Massey, yes.
Chairman Hughes.
Chairman Hughes, yes. Said motion does carry. Moving to our next item on the agenda, which is adjournment. As we have considered all the items on our agenda for the special meeting, I, Chairman Jim Hughes, move to adjourn. Do I have a second for the said motion?
It's Commissioner Massey. I will second.
Thank you, Commissioner, for your second. Any discussion on the said motion? Hearing none, I'll ask Mr. Stephen Kramer, Director of Adjudication, to call the roll.
Commissioner Hattiger,
Commissioner Hattinger, yes.
Commissioner Massey,
Commissioner Massey, yes.
Chairman Hughes.
Chairman Hughes, yes. Said motion does carry. We will be adjourned. Thank you all.